Enoy Extreme Media UJ. Subscribe for all updates.
Why are we inserting state authority in our autonomy? Why do people hold the titles the bar hasn't given them, but a statism? Why are we still paternalistic? Why do we still paternalize the bar, treat it like a child, a ward of the state, as if we're still in a feudal tradition? So Sempewa uses feudalism, senior council, gray-haired goat in the corral. Listen to me. I'm the gray-haired corral called goat in the corral. Listen to me. We don't do those things like this. I'm the gray-haired goat in the corral.
You are watching Extreme Media UJ. Subscribe for all the updates.
Bang the table.
Back on track.
Back on track.
Bang the table.
Wonderful.
Sandra, send your request to our research.
We are sort of a colleague. We can continue.
Yes.
We don't want to keep colleagues.
Sandra is approved. Sandra is approved again.
So,
yes.
Adam, without further ado, this is our rebuttal to the senior council bar.
Yes, President.
They are wrong on the law. Okay?
Yes, President.
They cite our objects clause exclusively, in which they find no explicit provision that we must be of a non-partisan nature. Clear?
Yes. I did take him
Our objects clause does not impose on us a non-partisan stance.
Yes, I did take President on, and I be sharing the link across the platform.
If that was the intention of Parliament, it would have been very clear. Are you getting me? Colleagues, Adit, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Parliament would have used clear words, non-partisan, to place them in that act. They're not difficult words. It has put them in other acts, and it has also been able to use them in the Constitution. For instance, in the EPDF Act, it uses the word non-partisan, and in other places. So it did not get parliamentary amnesia when writing the Uganda State Act. Is that clear? Explicit words are necessary to limit human rights of freedom of expression, assembly, association, protest, and so on. Explicit words are necessary. No imputation. So, Sempebwa uses a sleight of hand known as bolding. Known as what? Bolding. He changes the font now. It becomes bold. And uses words like must, as if he is a lawgiver. He says we must be non-partisan to perform those functions. No, sir. No, sir. You are not a lawgiver. You are not a lawmaker. You are imputing the words non-partisan in the ULS Act, in the Advocates Act. They are not there. And it's for good reason. Is that point clear? Adit and Sandra, give me your amen. Hello?
Yes, Council.
Yes?
My view in this particular situation is that
Yes.
in Uganda we've developed an unhealthy obsession with institutional formalism, and it's often at the expense of substantive justice. So we elevate procedure, titles, and tradition, even when they no longer serve the people that they were designed to protect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Sempewa uses another sleight of hand known as his title. Chairman of Senior Council Bar. Now, when we go to the Advocate Senior Council ranking regulations, no such title exists. Are you getting me? It's a sleight of hand. He uses ageism, classism, elitism. and other isms to smuggle non-partisan status and superimpose it on a free and independent bar. He's a thug and a liar, plain and simple. Are we clear?
Yes.
He uses a mere rank. You've called it very well. When you look at let me give them to you, our fact checker. Let me give you, have I given you the senior council regulations?
Let's see.
No, I'm giving them to you now.
Okay.
Of course, the ones we have in Kenya are far more clear. The ones we have in Uganda were written by rogues for rogues. But we shall go with them for the current status, for the current proceedings. Here we are. Of course, the Article Nuba will fundamentally dismantle this architecture and align it with pure doctrine and best practices. If at all rankings are still relevant in modern practice. I see advocates, so many of them purchase these rankings from Chambers and Global and others who I won't mention. They are my friends. They do good business. So if rankings are for purchasing, what are these ones still necessary for? Why are we inserting state authority in our autonomy? Why do people hold the titles the bar hasn't given them, but a statism? Why are we still paternalistic? Why do we still paternalize the bar, treat it like a child, a ward of the state, as if we're still in a feudal tradition? So Sempewa uses feudalism, senior council, gray-haired goat in the corral. Listen to me, listen to me. I'm the gray-haired corral called goat in the corral. Listen to me. We don't do those things like this. I'm the gray-haired goat in the corral. Is it clear? It's really nothing. Madam Sandra, I have sent you the regulations. They are not many. Can you read them? Can you see them?
Yes, I see them. I can read them.
They have 12 provisions. See if there is any function for senior council. See if there is any function. You read. Provision number 1. What's the
Okay.
purpose?
These regulations may be cited as the advocates, senior
No,
counsel.
just read the title. It's called title. Okay?
Oh
Regulation
yes.
number 2. Interpreter.
Interpretation.
Regulation number 3. Go on,
Eligibility.
read. You
Yeah.
are the fact checker. Let me keep quiet as you do that.
All right. Number 3, eligibility for rank of senior counsel. Number 4, Attorney General and President of Uganda Law Society to be senior counsel. 5, establishment of committee on senior counsel.
You can stop on that. Let's go down to that 5. So there's something called a committee on senior counsel. There is no committee or senior counsel. There's no committee of senior counsels for which there's a chairperson called Sempewa. Let's go and see this committee. What is the Section 5 committee and what is it comprised of? Go there.
Okay. So it's comprised of A justice of the Supreme Court nominated by the Chief Justice, who shall be the chairperson of the committee. B.
Is Sempewa a justice of the Supreme Court?
No.
Is Professor Sempewa a justice of the Supreme Court? So can he call himself anything like chairperson in the terms of these regulations? Do you see the crookery and thuggery of these old goats in the corral? Gray-haired goats in the corral? Thuggery. Kabisa. Is he a justice of the Supreme Court? Does he head the Committee on Senior Counsel? Let's go to regulation 7. Functions of that committee.
Right. The first function is to receive and consider applications submitted to it, and where the committee is of the opinion that the applicant qualifies to be granted the rank of senior counsel, recommend to the Chief Justice for the grant of the rank of senior counsel to the advocate. B. to receive and consider applications for the revocation of the rank of senior counsel and make recommendations to that effect to the Chief Justice.
Yes.
Number 2.
Those are the only functions of the Committee on Senior Counsel, no other. To grant, to make recommendations for the grant and the revocation by the Chief Justice. Of course, if we interpret this strictly in terms of the 1990 baseline standards for independence of the legal profession, what is the Chief Justice doing? Supreme lording over traditions, benefits, privileges, and immunities of the bar. It's a free bar, self-regulation. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. You will even see the maker of these laws. You will laugh. Okay? They were made by Parliament. Parliament, legislative interference with freedom of practice. What is Parliament doing in our business? Ranking regulations must be made by lawyers for lawyers. Plain and simple. Interpretation of self-regulation. But we are still stuck to the dogmas of feudalism and colonialism. And these are the things the same papers hold so dearly too, because nobody has ever critiqued them. And that's why they can't come to these forums. Why? Because we gave them a 4 clear paddock. You will confess sins at decolonization. Otherwise, you shall be stripped naked, heads cut off, and poles put on that pole. And then, if you survive decolonization check, we shall check you for demilitarization. And this is the purpose of today's debate. We are checking them for their commitment to demilitarization. Do they see no evil, hear no evil, and therefore say no evil? They only remember to condemn demilitarization when Ssemakadde's radical new bar has said Museveni must go. Enough is enough. This is excessive militarization for an independent country, for God's sake. Let it be said. Then they remember to also place some words of condemnation as if it's a meal and they are putting salt and pepper in moderation. Anyway, they can't pass that roadblock, that check. Because if they pass it, then we check them for democratization, and same people will fail that test, as I shall go further and show you. Of course, he didn't even constitute all the senior council. Okay? So this document, he says, is by the senior council. You can be so sure that he didn't constitute them. They are the laziest people at the bar. They can't sit in a room and do anything except to take pictures with those robes. And then they disappear into deal making and whatever else. They consumes their waking hours, which, as it appears, is nothing to write home about because none of them is published. So this is a solo project with a few what I call CC councils like Bernard Owundo, CC councils, pretending to be senior council and thinking that they can superimpose their hegemony on a radical new bar. Trying so hard to hold on to a bygone era. That door is closed. On 24th September, lawyers expressed themselves fundamentally radically, and they said they want a break with the past.
President, it is
They want to
28th.
get back on track. Yes?
It's 28th September.
Thank you for that correction. Of course, now, when we go to digital transformation, they can't even pass that test I doubt Sempewa remembers his ex account or knows the value of offering accountability. If it's a body which is legitimate, why can't it offer accountability? He runs to all the legacy media. His voice was playing on CBS. He loves CBS. Why does he love CBS? You know, he loves CBS to go and confuse people there. As if he's some sort of supreme lord of law. He knows that these are spaces where he cannot pass that digital test. These people are woke. So anyway, thank you for bringing that out. Now, they then use ambiguous words, verbiage. You know, they pad the language. If it's not enough, let us add words like values, principles, vague values, vague principles, on which they put their nonsense upon stilts, the nonsense of non-partisanship, which they don't explain in great detail. And you see, if they are good lawyers, they would know that to every rule, there is an exception. There is no law that is complete without an exception. If non-partisanship is a legitimate principle, it must have limits, and it must therefore yield and afford exceptions. Sempewa and his CC councils offer none, acknowledge none, and therefore they say the bar must rot and die on the hill of non-partisanship. Uganda may burn, but lawyers shall remain paddocked and straight-jacketed in the stance of non-partisanship. Isn't that a whole load of nonsense, young lawyers? Okay? Mr. D, it was my metaphor. Did it land? Hello?
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
President.
They are saying that, okay, our profession is a paddock profession. We exist in a paddock in Uganda. We are paddocked goats and sheep. The events happening throughout Uganda must not excite us enough, provoke us enough to steer clear out of the paddock. So even when we see burning houses, genocides, famines, rapes, and murders, we are supposed to remain aloof in the paddock. That is simple for you in plain language. Plain language. Do you understand our problem with the African Legal Academy? This is the person who is passing out people as external examiner at Makerere University for PhDs, masters, and undergraduates. Oh, cry, beloved country. Oh, cry, beloved country. Charlatans. 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 But you haven't found the words before, and you haven't found the leaders before to expose these people. Here I am, and here I will do it for you, for God and my country. And I hope I have exposed this charlatan for you using intellectual arguments rooted in law and legalisms that you understand. But there are other theories of knowledge within which to contest their argument. Theories of social accountability, historicization, and others, which we are going to incur and explore tonight, if you have the time, and solemnity and seriousness to understand what's going on. They deceive you that this is just a violence academy to spit fire at them, insult them, and so on and so forth. They deserve the insults, no doubt, because they have been insulting our intelligence for far too long without pushback. How dare you call us sheep in a paddock that can't feel the temperature of their environment? How dare you call us dinosaurs that can't observe a shifting glacier. Do these people wish the bar any good? That is the question.
Mr. President,
Yes.
uh, on that point, do they wish the bar good? Some members of the bar, what their major concern, Mr. President, is that given that the Uganda Law Society is a statutory professional body whose membership comprises advocates drawn from diverse political, ideological, and personal confession, how did you ensure the meaningful inclusion and consent of the general
Good
membership in
question.
the
And the
decision
short
making?
answer is those members misread and misinterpret the nature of the legal profession and the special roles and
Mr. President,
obligations. Let me complete. You have asked your question. Do not interrupt the injection of wisdom. Those members imagine that they know. They repeat these mantras which they have received from charlatan lecturers, charlatan law firm managers, charlatan mentors who never showed them the real book. When you go to the real book of pure law that defines the legal profession, do you know what it says, Mr. Dit? Do you know what it says?
let's
It
our fact
tells you
checker
that your law
as
degree is not so special. Not so what? It tells you that when you turn up to collect your PC, you don't abandon, you don't resign from citizenhood. You don't leave your duties and responsibilities as a citizen at the office of the chief registrar. You don't become a monk, a nun, or a eunuch after having been admitted to the role. Is this clear, Adam? You don't lose your big penis, Adam. You don't lose your big penis, Mr. Dit. If you got it, you still have it to do the job it's supposed to do, to hunt and multiply in this fertile world. If God has given you the good fortune, sir, you don't say now, I'm a lawyer, I must not produce anything else except precedents. You don't completely, or even at all, abandon sin. So the theme is called, those people are not aware of the rule called citizen first and citizen last. An advocate on the roll is a transient stage. You get on and you get off, voluntarily or even at death. But even when you're interred, you're not interred with a PC boss. You're interred as a citizen. You came as a citizen, you live as a citizen. The PC is a functional tool. And we shall discuss. There's a book by the deceased Feroz Daoudi who explains this in his uh, magnum opus, Practicing an Honorable Profession. And I'm sure most of you haven't read it. I do recommend it. That the PC carries additional responsibilities on you as a citizen. It does not strip you of citizen duties. It does not require you to abandon fellow citizens, to stop to commune, to feel with them, to suffer with them, to lead with them, and to be led by them in the progress of a nation, in the building of a nation. The same papers tell you that no, the profession is an ivory tower. You sit in some castle and you look upon fellow citizens as they go about their politics, that you are above politics. You are not. Now let me show you the law. Madame Sandra, Chief Facilitator, I have given you the UN basic principles on the role of lawyers and the IBS standards for independence of
Yes.
the legal profession. Do you have it? To those lawyers, which also who fall into the folly of same paper. And I've seen many other good lawyers. They don't know. They don't know that what we call the true nature of an independent bar. Now, Adam, there are many forms of associations,
Association.
organizations, you know, collectives. But the collective of lawyers is a very distinct animal.
Mm.
It's a very distinct animal. First of all, it's compulsory. So it's not voluntary, Adam. It's what that distinction is missed by many people. In a
Mm.
voluntary association, the same papers would throw us out already. Did you get me, Adam?
Mm.
Eh? If we were any other character of association, Ssemakadde would have been thrown out
Already.
already by enemies, but they can never throw me out. That is the unique characteristic of the legal profession. And it is guaranteed in these instruments, as you can read. I can help you. Go to principle number 1 in the UN principles. Let me see. No, that one protects clients. I want the There's one which says that once you have the qualifications, you're in. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. And as long as you command good standing with your colleagues, you're still in. You're still in.
You are still in.
Yes. And your colleagues cannot remove you for performing rights and duties and privileges we have guaranteed you. So your colleagues cannot remove you for your freedom of opinion. For calling them
Of
fools and
opinion.
vaginas, they can't remove you from the profession for that. It's guaranteed. Okay?
President, there is a question that has been coming in from people, especially those ones who are not dissenting, but who are also asking themselves about the decision to come up with this.
I think we should hold the question and we first understand the unique character of the legal
Okay, President.
profession and the National Bar Association. That
Okay,
point is
President.
concluded by saying that the legal profession is a microcosm of society. It is like
Society.
a nation in which we
Mm.
all share a lowest common denominator called citizenhood, which cannot be lost willy-nilly.
Mm.
Do you get me, sir?
Yes.
As long as your mother and father did it and you appeared in our boundaries and you get our citizenship, even
Mm,
being a
mm,
criminal doesn't take it away, sir. You remain our guy, our criminal.
mm,
We feed you, we nurse you, we treat you even better than your parents ever did.
mm.
That is called the civic dividend, the citizenhood dividend. Is it clear?
Yes,
So
President.
lawyers in the legal profession have a dividend that these guys like to minimize. And we have shown it to you. It's in Principle 23 and in Standard 14. And lawyers in Uganda participated in that conversation and they elected a radical new bar on a manifesto they received.
Mm,
So our losers may continue to cry, but the question was resolved in a meeting of lawyers. Do you want to get back on track through a radical new bar? Do you want a radical revival of the rule of law in your lifetime? Yes, by 70%. Now you are in it. If you
mm,
want, you can remove yourself from the legal profession voluntarily. You can suspend your participation voluntarily. But the rest of us have resolved our through our traditions and democratic methods this way, and we are moving. We are saying we are one with the nation in this manner. Whether it's popular or unpopular, that is for historians to write. So, Adam, I repeat, a legal an association of lawyers, a national bar association is not a voluntary,
Organization
so it cannot prescribe on itself such characteristics as
and non-partisan.
non-partisan, because it would be stripping away from individuals who are neurodivergent. That's a very technical term.
Okay.
That, as you say, to use your own words, that this association compulsorily aggregates NRM and opposition people.
Some people.
Yes. So they must remain that, and they must tussle it out. They don't cease to be citizens because they are lawyers. They don't cease to be party fanatics because they are that. They don't. And they can switch those parties at any time as they want. It's insignificant. The legal profession is durable and resilient enough. It doesn't need the protection of Karugaba's uh, collective failure of moral courage. It's not, it's not a fragile flower that is going to collapse because politics has infected it. As we are going to see, we are going to traverse the world, all the 7 continents, and we are going to show Karugaba and Sempebwa that legal professions and the nations in which they are found have benefited from the infection of the political virus. In fact, lawyers catching the virus has saved many republics, brought peace, stability, and prosperity in various nations and continents. We are going to traverse this. If it takes us until morning, we shall do it. Liars and cowards may get off the call. We don't care about them anymore. So I'm sorry I lost Adit, but I've given the answer.
Adit is back.
I'm back, Mr.
Adit, I've
President.
given you your answer. Have you gotten it? Have you gotten your answer? Has it satisfied you? Or you're still brainwashed
Not
by
really.
the expired knowledges of the Sempewas and Karuhangas, Karugabas?
Not.
Yes, Mr. President.
The question was for Adit first.
Yeah.
It was one who asked this question.
Okay.
Question you asked.
Before we move to.
Have you gotten the
Yeah, you
understand?
just
Have you
want
understood
to
the
add
special
on one,
nature
then.
of the legal profession as distinct from any other form of congregation or not?
Yes, Mr. President, I've understood.
What have
But
we said? Because you went off
I
the
just
call. What
wanted,
have you understood?
I just wanted to
What
first
have you
address,
understood,
because
Adit?
I
Don't
jumped off.
fool me, Adit. What have you understood about the legal profession? When they say the legal profession, they don't mean a church. They don't mean a mission school complex organization. We are not a Rotary Club. We are not an Interact Club. We are not a Banyankole Club. We are not an NRM Lovers Club. We are a microcosm of Uganda. We are everything Uganda is, good and bad. Clear? As long as we qualified. That's it. We are a group of wankers, killers, murderers with a PC. That's all. There are no angels and saints at the bar. Sinners only at the bar with a PC. We are an association of sinners with a PC. Is that clear to you, Adit? You didn't know. You thought you were special. I've shown you your level.